Have you ever had your parole officer show up as your Hinge date? The wine bar was dimmer than his profile photos suggested it would be. I sat at the corner table, nervously adjusting my dress for the third time when Elias walked in. Tall, clean-shaven, nice smile, exactly like his pictures. Then he saw me, and his expression went through about 17 different emotions in 3 seconds. Ramona? He stood frozen by the host stand. That's me. You must be Elias. I started to stand for a hug, but he took a step back. We need to talk, he said, pulling out his phone. But not here. My stomach dropped. Was I being catfished in reverse? Did I do something wrong? He showed me his phone screen, a calendar app with my name on it, not for tonight, for tomorrow morning at 9. My monthly parole check-in. The room tilted. My parole officer. I'd matched with my actual parole officer on Hinge and hadn't recognized him because he looked completely different out of his cheap suits and fluorescent office lighting. Outside, he managed. Now. We stood on the sidewalk while couples walked past us into the wine bar. I wanted to disappear into the concrete. This is, he started, a massive violation of ethical boundaries, I supplied. I was going to say unexpected, but yes, that too. He was pacing now. How did we match? My profile says I work in civil service. Mine says I'm in customer relations, I admitted. Technically true. I do customer service for that call center. The one you got through the work release program, which I arranged. He stopped pacing. Oh god, this is bad. Look, we can pretend this never happened, I said. I'll cancel tomorrow's appointment, get transferred to another officer. You can't. I'm the only one who handles cybercrime cases in the district. Right. My conviction for hacking into my ex-boyfriend's company server and replacing all their files with pictures of rotting fish. In my defense, he'd stolen $40,000 from my grandmother's retirement account through an elaborate romance scam. The jury hadn't seen it as justice, though. Your profile said you like hiking, Elias said suddenly. Yours said you have a cat named Professor Pickles. We stood there awkwardly until he laughed. Actually laughed. This is insane. Do you know what would happen if my supervisor found out I went on a date with a parolee? Technically, we haven't gone on the date yet, I pointed out. Ramona, I could lose my job. You could go back to prison. For getting dinner? For compromising the integrity of the supervisory relationship. He quoted it like a textbook. Any personal relationship between officer and parolee is grounds for immediate revocation. Even though we matched before we knew, the state doesn't care about Hinge's algorithm. A couple emerged from the wine bar, laughing and holding hands. What I wouldn't give for normal problems. Here's what we're going to do, Elias said in his official voice. We're going to forget this happened. Delete the match. Tomorrow you show up at 9, we do your regular check-in, and we never speak of this again. Agreed. I started walking to my car, then turned back. For what it's worth, you seemed really nice in your messages. You did too. The thing about teaching your nephew to skateboard was funny. Professor Pickles sounds adorable. He's actually evil. Attacks everyone except me. We smiled at each other for a moment before reality crashed back. 9 o'clock, he said firmly. I'll be there. The next morning I sat in his office as he reviewed my employment records and drug test results. Everything normal, professional, appropriate. Then his cat photo fell off his desk. Professor Pickles looking demonic in a Christmas sweater. Evil cat, I said without thinking. The worst, he replied automatically, then caught himself. 4 months passed. Every monthly check-in was perfectly professional. We never mentioned that night. I started dating someone from my pottery class. He started dating a teacher, according to the photo on his desk. Then came my last appointment. Parole complete, record expunged after successful completion, thanks to the first offender program. Congratulations, Elias said, signing the final paperwork. You're officially free. Thank you for everything, I said formally. He handed me the papers. Underneath was a small note. Wine bar, tonight, 8 p.m. I looked up. He was studying his computer screen intently, but his ears were red. That would be unethical, I said. Completely inappropriate, he agreed. See you at 8. Bring your nephew's skateboard. Professor Pickles destroyed mine. That was 6 months ago. Last week, he proposed at the same wine bar where we never had our first date. His supervisor was there. Turns out she met her husband when she arrested him for public intoxication in 1987. The heart wants what it wants, she said during her toast, even if it requires paperwork. Elias's mother still doesn't know how we really met. We told her Hinge, which is technically true, just missing some critical details about the timeline and legal implications.